If you're looking to avoid mistakes, as a dietitian in your first year of business, this video was created just for you. I'm going to help you decrease overwhelm. Now, I want to remind you that mistakes are inevitable. We all make them, but the goal of watching this video and even working with my team here at Dietitian Boss will help you make less mistakes so that you can get to your results faster and with less anxiety. The first mistake that online private practice dietitians make is failing to set up their business. Now, it can be really overwhelming to set up your business, but you don't have to overcomplicate it. So with setting up your online business, you want to create a business plan. Now, again, this is not a robust 20-page plan. It can be simple. Now, I offer a business plan in our Academy library, and I ask you to go through the business plan as you're working through my curriculum. That way, you have an idea, an outline, and you're filling it out and getting more clear with time and practice. So that business plan, it's not set in stone. It's more like a draft, like a table of contents. And you're going to make some modifications as you go during your first year in business as a dietitian. So your business plan should include your target audience. Who are you serving? Your marketing plan. How will you reach them? What are you going to do to promote yourself? Your services offered. What are you selling? Your pricing strategy. How much are you selling it for? Your business structure and your sales strategies, meaning what do you do to sell to a customer? The second mistake that online dietitians make in private practice their first year is failing to comply with legal and regulatory standards. So this might mean that you're obtaining necessary licenses, certifications, and adhering to data privacy and protection, HIPAA. So I know that there are some coaches out there who will tell you that you can, in fact, coach dietitians outside of the country, but I know and I am compliant with the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics laws. So I will refer you to a lawyer. I will do my best to help support you, but ultimately at the end of the day, here at Dietitian Boss, we do abide by the rules and the laws that are placed for licensure. Now, some of them might be frustrating and it might feel a little convoluted when it comes to virtual practice, but I still am a fan of complying with the laws currently that we have and what the Academy recommends, and then we can make some modifications as the Academy makes modifications. So what that means is ultimately making decisions about who you will see in other countries is up to you. But remember, if we're abiding by the Academy's recommendations, and if we're a member of the Academy and abide by their code of ethics, then we do have to follow what they recommend, which is following the registered dietitian code of ethics and practicing like a registered dietitian. So that means you have to call yourself a registered dietitian. You cannot also operate as a nutrition coach. That is, again, in the code of ethics from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. You ultimately make these decisions about ethics, but when it comes to regulatory practices, we err on the side of caution and following the rules and seeking legal counsel. Inside of our Academy library, we do give you access to our lawyer. We also hook you up and show you some contracts so that you have access to what legal contracts can help protect you. We've got a lot of content from our lawyer. You can even reach out to her and pay her if you have some extra help that you need to set something up in your business. But I will say we don't cover specific legal questions about what you can and can't do from a legal standpoint because that operates outside of our scope of practice. But we do want to remind you that operating and being compliant with the law as a dietitian will help you maintain your credential. The third mistake that registered dietitians make in their first year of private practice is failing to talk to people. You also underestimate the power of promoting yourself. So you might be afraid to use what's called calls to action, telling people that you have a product or service and that you would like to serve people. And if they know anybody who needs help with nutrition, to recommend you or to reach out to you. Now, doing that requires regularity. There's consistency where you'll need to promote yourself frequently and in multiple ways. So that's why it goes back to the marketing plan of the business plan and thinking about what are your marketing strategies. Now, I recommend 2 marketing outlets or channels. That might be social media and in-person marketing, or it might be that you're doing insurance and in-person. You get to choose, but you definitely want to have 2 avenues that you're picking to market. And then in those 2 avenues, like let's say traditional networking and referrals, you're constantly promoting yourself. If you fail to do this, how do you expect to get clients and sell your products and services if people don't know that you have a product or service that exists? The fourth mistake would be inefficient or ineffective social media presence. So the biggest mistake I see is that you're not consistently posting content. The second mistake is that you're not showing your face. You're not building that know, like, and trust factor with your audience. Now you can satisfy that by showing up on your stories, by posting, let's say, a reel or an image or a carousel of you and making sure that you're talking and connecting with your audience. If that feels all too overwhelming and you're not ready for social media, then the first step would be tapping to your local network. So who do you know in person? and what communities are you involved with, maybe religious or something in your local community where you can get your actual face out there outside of the internet and you can start making connections. And you will need to overcome rejection. You'll need to overcome feeling like not everybody likes you or agrees with what you're promoting or what you're doing, and that will help you grow your business faster. The fifth mistake private practice dietitians make their first year in business is ignoring email marketing. So email marketing is the most effective digital marketing medium for you to make money. So digital marketing is more effective than social media marketing, SEO, and even affiliate marketing and paid ads. So that means you want to put some time and effort into setting up an email service provider. Now, I show you how to do that step by step, and I write your email sequences in our Academy membership. Now, that's a monthly membership that gives you access to my roadmap and action plans, and the link will be listed below. So when you set up your email service provider, you have an opportunity to create a free guide where people will opt in and they have to volunteer to subscribe to your email list. And then you can start sending them newsletters either on a weekly or at least a monthly basis. And that's going to help you promote yourself by also adding value and then weaving in those calls to action and promoting your products and services. The sixth mistake that dietitians make their first year in business would be lack of personalization. Now, I see this mistake mostly when you are conducting, let's say, sessions or working with clients, and you're not making that client-based or you're not making that client-centered, as that is the right word. So I'm a big fan of motivational interviewing. I even use motivational interviewing for sales and even marketing, even market research and talking to people. So one tactic from motivational interviewing would be making everything about the other person. So you want to make that client-focused, meaning the session and the time you're with somebody else is focused on what they want and need and how ready they are, their readiness to change. If you remember, there is a scale. So the stages of change model, we've got pre-contemplation, contemplation, action, and maintenance. And you first want to get a sense of where somebody is on that spectrum and not just start feeding them advice and telling them what to do, but making sure that you're finding out where they're at and what they want and need, and you're satisfying exactly what they ask you. And so with some basic training with motivational interviewing and some practice, you should be good to go. Now, I've got mock training and a lot of training about motivational interviewing with practical application tips inside of our Academy library that I invite you to join, and you can grab the link in the description box so that you can start improving those skills right away. The seventh biggest mistake would be poor communication and follow-up. So communication is actually the number one life skill, and I've noticed that a lot of dietitians need some work with how to communicate effectively. Effective communication is assertive communication. That means that you're asserting what you want and need without being overly aggressive, that you're practicing active listening. And follow-up is also, I believe dietitians struggle with follow-up because let's say we're talking to somebody and they might be interested, but they're not yet ready to buy, which is normal. You just forget about it. You feel rejected. You might never reach out again. But when you're thinking with making less mistakes as a dietitian in private practice, especially in your first year, you want to still follow up. You want to have a process. Maybe you're following up several times, maybe 2 to 5 times, and you're spacing out how frequently you follow up, but you're taking the emotion out of it because you're following your own process. And if somebody says no and they're not ready, that's okay. But you've done your due diligence to not drop off and never reach out to them again. The eighth mistake includes disorganized client management system. Now, I know it can be really easy, especially if you're moving fast and you're growing rapidly in your dietitian private practice, to kind of not have things organized. So let's say you're using a practice management software like Practice Better, or maybe you're not. You might not have your forms in one place. You might not have all the data and information that you need in a place where you can access it readily, and that is going to cause anxiety. So using something like a practice management system and then having a system set up which helps you, and having automations in place can really go a long way when it comes to delivering a better result for your clients, and then also managing your anxiety too. Because if it takes you a long time to find forms and you don't know where things live when it comes to client management, you're going to really struggle. That also includes learning the system you're using. So if you're using Practice Better, for example, you need to take the time and energy to learn how to use the basics of that software. By the way, we do recommend that software, so if you want to grab our affiliate link in the description box, go ahead and grab that, and you can sign up using our link for a discount code. If you're interested in getting support from our Academy library, I want to invite you to join us so that you can grow alongside your peers while building your private practice. You can grab the link below to sign up for Academy. We have a month-to-month option as well as annual, and we will see you next time.